Good day, everybody. How are you doing? My name is Eric Anderson, and here I am again with the Metronome Beats app, here to bring another first in a series of new tutorials. This one here is specifically dealing with the idea of polyrhythms. So the polyrhythm is quite the challenge to explain. And they're also quite the challenge to play, because the idea behind it is that one of your hands or one of your fingers on one hand is going to play one rhythmic pattern over a series of beats, and another hand or another finger is going to play a different rhythmic pattern over so many beats. And typically, the idea of the polyrhythm is that both of the rhythmic patterns, each of them is a rhythmic pattern that is composed of equally spaced notes, while the second limb or the second finger is playing a different rhythmic pattern of evenly spaced notes. So it really is hard to explain. It really is something you have to play with and experience. But fortunately, the Metronome Beats app actually has a section, what I call the polyrhythm page, which is the fourth one over from the left. It has it on there. So what's going to happen is I have it set up to factory specs, so to speak, 60 beats a minute, four beats in a bar, 1 click per beat, and that's what you get when you open up the app after the download. But when you go to this fourth page here, it's going to say generate a polyrhythm. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to what I consider to be like the least challenging of the polyrhythms. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to set this up to where I have 3 clicks, and then I have 3 clicks over 2 beats. So when you look at it like that, I'm actually going to blow this up so we can see it a little bit better. In essence, and this is like going like all music theory-ish, so I'm not going to try to overwhelm you much with it. The A line, or the top line, would be playing the equivalent of quarter note triplets, while the B line is playing the actual quarter note, which lands on the beat. So if we were to look at these quarter note triplets, it's done up in such a way that you play on the 1, you skip the and. Well, first of all, make sure that we're clear on the terminology. I'm gonna phrase my triplet counting as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So the idea behind that is that because there's a ton of different ways that people count triplets, and I just want you to know how I'm going to do that. So in the the eighth note triplet, which is kind of what line A is set up to represent, if we were to play just quarter notes, then we would play on the 1, skip the and, play on the skip over the 2, and then play on the and of 2, so to speak, and then not play on the While that's going on, this B line is being played on beat 1, and on beat 2. So you're going to hear this idea where you get 3 evenly spaced notes on the A line being played along with 2 evenly spaced notes on the B line. So when you listen to the app, if I can get it to play, if you can hear that, even as I sit here and listen to it, it takes me a little bit to get my head wrapped around it. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to turn this thing around, and I'm going to focus on this acoustic guitar that I'm going to use. And with the acoustic guitar, I'm going to play just the top and bottom string, both of them open. And the idea is that my thumb is going to play a line A, which is 3 evenly spaced notes, and my index finger or my middle finger is going to play on the bottom string line B, which is 2 evenly spaced notes. So if I were to play just line A, it would sound like this in time with the click. Right, now I'm going to go to line B, which would sound like this. Now the challenge of the polyrhythm is that you have to play both of those at the same time. See if I can get it. You get this. 1, 2, 3. So that one right there, my friends, that 3/2, so to speak, is what I would consider to be probably the most basic of the polyrhythms. From that point on, they just become increasingly more complex and challenging. And again, if you just back out of here, you can come up with any polyrhythm you want just by opening this up. How many clicks do you want over each beat? You set them up like that, 5/4, 7/4, 5/3. I mean, there's a ton of different ways you can do that. And then the challenge is, can you get two hands to play in time with these two different rhythms simultaneously, or maybe two fingers, or like the thumb and the middle finger like I did with this. So give this one a try, 3/2, and see if you can put that one together on your instrument of choice. For you guitar and bass players and drummers and piano and keyboard players especially, where you can get different limbs to play these different things at the same time. If you can get that, you will definitely push yourself in unimaginable ways. Will you ever use that in a piece of music? Well, I'm not sure. But developing such a skill set will make a lot of other music a lot easier to play, because you have kind of overqualified yourself for many of the situations you'll get into. So that being said, my friends, I'm done. Welcome to Polyrhythms. We'll see you on the next video. All right, bye-bye.